So you better be ready because we're live.
We are.
48,000 people watching right now.
Whoa.
So you better be careful.
Oh, shoot, I am live. It finally just came up on my phone.
Hello, everyone. How are we?
Hello.
We are looking out of our window right now at a very severe storm. I swear it hasn't stopped raining here in like 5 days. Thank you, Zen Ginger. I don't know what's going to end up happening here.
Yeah.
Things might get ugly.
Let me show you real quick.
There is a pretty ugly storm coming.
This is what's happening right now.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're the blue dot, in case you want to know where we live.
Yeah, tell everybody where we live. That's fine. You
the
zoom
address
in
isn't on there. But I could zoom in if you would like.
But we're here.
Yeah,
we're going to do this. We're going to
try.
We don't have satellite internet anymore. I would be really nervous if we had satellite internet still.
That's so true. Yeah.
But now that it is, under the ground and it's real internet, not that there's anything wrong with satellite internet, but you know what I mean. It would have been.
You were such a huge fan of that too at first. You were like, we're getting what was it called?
It's called Starlink. Starlink is a good service.
I didn't like it.
Well, whatever. But it was a good service, except for live streaming. But anyway, how is everybody doing? It's kind of funny that you came up with the idea of talking about the summer doldrums of aquariums, and then all of a sudden we have this massive storm.
Right.
Not that really makes any kind of difference, but it is a real thing for people to ignore their aquariums, or maybe ignoring is kind of harsh. Maybe losing a little bit of interest.
Getting preoccupied in other things like barbecues, vacations, hanging out with friends, going to the beach, just being outside, going to the pool.
What does all that mean? What does all that mean?
I don't know, but these people do this and then their aquariums get affected because maybe they find out, hey, my aquarium does better when I don't do as much maintenance. Or maybe they realize they don't want as many aquariums, so they scale back and then they become better fish keepers. And, it's one of those things, I think.
I get it. And it's true. And I have experienced it. But it's not, for me, it's never really been like, we're taking all the vacations. And that's why, because,
no.
How many vacations? We've been on some nice vacations.
Yeah.
But not since we moved here. We're living a vacation every single day down here. How about that? But
then why do we have high blood pressure?
Notice she said we? Yeah, I'm not the only one anymore. I have officially driven her crazy enough to where she needs her own blood pressure medications. The only outside I do is car shows. I miss car shows. That used to be me too, way back in the day. But summertime is just, even if it's being outside doing gardening like you like to do, or painting the fence, or pressure washing the siding because it gets out, whatever, you spend 5-6 months, maybe not here 5 or 6 months, but you spend quite a few months out of the year stuck in your house, unless you're one of those crazy people that likes the cold. I'll never understand you people. That makes no sense to me. But
I like the cold when it's hot. But when it's actually cold, I'm like, oh, I hate this. But I'll never say I wish it was summer. Because I don't like the humidity here.
Well, I'm
and
the
the
exact
gnats.
opposite.
The only thing I like is the watermelons.
I don't like the gnats. That's true. Not the nationals. I love the nationals. But I don't like the bugs. The gnats. They drive me crazy.
Yeah.
But, here we have summer doldrums and winter doldrums, because wintertime, it's almost better to get outside and do things. because you don't have the bugs, you don't have that humidity, you don't have the extreme heat, which I'm fine with extreme heat. But this winter though was a different one. We were
It got pretty cold.
we were stuck in the house a lot.
Snow.
I know. I hated every second of it.
I loved it. So.
But like I've always said it, where we live in North Carolina.
I just showed them. They know where we live.
Yeah, that's true. You gave them our address. I like to think about outdoor projects in the wintertime. Like this building that we're in right now, I want to paint the outside of this building. And believe me, it needs it more than any other building on this entire property.
Nice.
It looks terrible. It's embarrassing.
It's a really old building.
But I have a plan to paint this. I'm probably going to do it in the winter because I won't have to deal with the bugs. But what we're getting at here is when you have things like that you're doing, it doesn't have to be that you're taking vacations, because even when you do, most people are, taking a week. It's not like you're gone the whole summer. But also if you have young kids, they've got baseball, they've got soccer, basketball, whatever they're doing.
That's usually like baseball for kids is usually before school lets out. So it's around, once it
happening
starts
right
getting,
now.
Yeah,
We've got
right
a grandchild playing t-ball.
True.
There's always going to be obligations, but the summer, I mean, it is a well-known fact in the industry that this hobby dies in the summertime. It's a well-known fact. Everybody knows this. And I know what we do. For us, it doesn't change at all.
I know it's the exact same.
But for a lot of people, it has to be that people are not paying attention to their aquariums. We see it on YouTube. We see it on the website.
Yeah.
Everything slows down.
I mean,
and
even like putting the fish outside, because I started the tote thing outside, or the stock tank, whatever you want to call it, with the guppies and doing all that, but that doesn't require my attention. That's easy. That's just nature taking care of them. So, and same with the pond. It's not that hard to take care of a pond.
Except for when the water's green like it is right now.
It's not that bad.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad, real bad. I'm dealing with the pea soup again. Second spring in a row that I've had to deal with that. Last year was really bad.
But I bought some plants and stuck in there, so it should start helping out.
When? When did you do that?
Like 2 weeks ago, remember?
Yeah, but you remember last time we did that and it was almost like within a week it cleared up? You picked the wrong plants this year,
No, I didn't
guess.
put as many in there because of what happened last year. Remember, it completely took over. It was so beautiful. I'll just throw some duckweed in there for you.
Oh, God, please don't.
We'll get that straight.
Can I get a female vieja from you guys? What in the world, David Phillips, would give you the impression that you could get a female vieja from? I'm just giving you a hard time. No, you can't get one from us. How could you get one of those from us? I don't even have one of those. I am not going to put you on the list for dumbest question of the evening, David. I'm just giving you a hard time. But no, I don't know where that question came from. But you know what? I get those emails all the time. And I don't understand it. I was looking for, these fish and those fish on your website, but I don't see them. It's like, it's because we don't sell fish. Anyway.
And we never sold those.
No, we never sold viejas. I like that fish, but no.
African cichlids. We sold so many African cichlids, and then betas.
And that is it. When we had our store, we had all the fish, but we still only sold the African cichlids on the website. Right. The only exception was I did ship a royal pleco one time.
Oh yeah, you did. I remember.
And it was a big one too. But yeah, not me. Summer and winter are my stay indoor seasons. Spring and fall are the best times to go outside. I mean, I can't disagree with you there. Both of them are awesome. I actually, if I was going to have to pick one, I would pick the fall, even though the leaves drive me crazy. Spring is too wet.
I like February, March, and April. It's my favorite here.
All right, that's fine. Less water changes for me in Florida. Tap water gets up to 86 to 87 degrees. Yeah, that's a thing too, Dennis. That is a real thing. And the water gets hot here too. It's not that hot though. I mean, but even in the shower, the water's hotter. You know what I mean? Like, because it's coming out of the tap more hot. It's the water heater's making it hotter.
Well, that's what I like about winter is because I get up in the middle of the night to drink water and I like it super cold. So it comes out really, really cold. And I'm like, yeah.
That's very true.
Nice.
It's very true. But yeah, 86 to 87 degrees, that's extreme. That's wild. It doesn't surprise me. I would imagine some areas of like Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, Arizona, Louisiana, Florida all get really hot water like that. But yeah, 86, 87, that's a lot. I've been a member for 34 months, yay, but how come I'm still a fry? I'm not sure how it all works. Oh. So here's the thing, Doxy Diane. That's a very good question, and I have a very good explanation for that. When we started with memberships, YouTube was very much encouraging creators to do tiers. So we had Fry, which was like $5 a month, and then we were offering like juveniles, adults. I don't even remember all of the different levels. Fry would have been the kind of starter level. Well, I realized that was just stupid. We had a lot of people that joined under the higher tiers, but I was just like, that it just doesn't make sense, and I didn't feel right about it. So I got rid of all of them except for the $5 level, which happened to be Fry.
Yeah.
And so everybody's Fry now. So it is not, it's not a special designation based on how many years you have or anything like that.
But it does show a different, like it has a number or something on it.
That's dependent on how long you've been on there. But like when you become a member, it says, welcome to Fry.
Oh, gotcha.
But everybody's a Fry. I ordered a blue Acara and electric blue Acara today. So excited to get them next week. Also just got a blue mystery snail today. Yay. My first snail. That's a lot of fun.
Fun.
And I love Acaras. Don't have to add hot water. 78 right now out of the tap. Ooh, 78's good.
Oh. Actually, that's like perfect.
I don't like the temperature 78 in the house.
No.
That's too hot. I mean, geez, what are we in Biloxi? No. But yeah, 68, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Out here in Houston, the water comes out of the tap in the 90s, so I have to buy bags of ice to do my water changes. That's wild.
That's wrong. Because when you put the cold on, it should be cold.
Well, there's nothing that actively cools water.
Oh, that's
only
true. Hot water heater, not a cold water heater. Cold
Well,
water, cold heat. Never mind.
Everybody's like, oh, John's going to say something. It's not a hot water heater.
Yeah.
It's a water heater. That would be like...
I don't care. It's a thing that heats the water.
Everybody calls them hot water heaters, but they're not hot water heaters. They're just water heaters.
Oh.
It's making the water hot. Anyway.
That's why I called it a hot water heater.
People in Texas would argue that. 70 here, 72 heat in winter is different than 72 air conditioning in the summer. That is so true. Because I like the house to be 72 in the winter.
Yeah.
But in the summer, oh no, I'm sweating if it's 72.
Gosh, the other night I went to bed wearing a sweatshirt. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm cold.
I was like, do you have the flu or something? What do you...
I was not wearing a sweatshirt the next morning now. It was a t-shirt.
Yeah, don't everybody get so excited. My snails and plants showed up right on time. They are gorgeous. Yay.
Hooray.
That's good. I'm not going to give out Jennifer Anderson's address, but she lives in the South, a couple of states farther south than us. And anytime you're shipping to someone that lives that far down, this time of year, it's nerve-wracking because, you know, a day or two delay and who knows how things are going to go. Yeah. So always relieved when they get there on time. And speaking of which, I think I may have mentioned this in last week's live stream. I don't know what's going on in Greensboro, North Carolina, y'all, but something's happening at the postal facility there. I just got an email 3 minutes before the live stream started. Somebody was telling me that their package is held up there. I've probably gotten 4 or 5 of those emails in the last 2 weeks. All the packages were stuck in Greensboro. I don't know what the deal is there.
Yeah. And then UPS, it's a whole nother fiasco. So it's like
Yeah.
UPS sucks right now, and the Postal Service still sucks.
Hate to say it this way, but you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah.
I don't know how, there's nothing we can do to remedy that. I wish we could. The unfortunate reality is UPS is very reliable when it comes to this, but even if we were to switch to Priority Express and charge our customers $45 to ship plants and snails, they still get caught up from time to time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is. So I wish we could control that, but we can't. I ordered red root floaters from you guys. Got them yesterday. They came in great. Awesome. I love those. We got a big giant tub of them.
I love them too. They're awesome.
They're a lot of fun. The Greensboro post office usually holds my package an extra day, but the one you just shipped to me arrived today without a holdup. Well, that's good.
Yeah. They must have saw your name and were like, we can't mess with this guy.
We're scared of that guy down there.
We got to get Jerry his package.
It's a whole thing. It doesn't matter who we use. There's going to be problems, particularly this time of year. I do not ignore my tank in the summer because I love my fish. So
That's
I take
good.
care of them. They are my pets and should take care of all your pets. Well, I could not agree more, James.
Yeah, exactly.
And we do the same thing. But like I said, ask anybody that's in this industry. Call Rob Lupton, call Jay Wilson. It doesn't matter. If you call somebody in this industry and say, hey, what happens in summer? Everybody will tell you, oh, it dies. This hobby dies in the summer. Funny story. I was talking with Dustin Wunderlich at one of the shows. He said something that you and I have never forgotten.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were talking about this very
Yep.
topic. And he said, I've been doing this for 15 years or whatever it is. He says he goes in at the first of the year, every year, and he goes to this time of year and writes in huge letters on his paper calendar, which, come on, Dustin, it's 2025. But he writes it in big, giant letters, don't freak out.
Yeah.
Because everybody that's in our industry, at least it's been this way for me, every single summer, I'm like, oh my God, what's happening?
Oh, I know. We got to change this. We got to do this.
What's happening
We have to
here?
do this differently. We have to change that. And I'm like, would you stop it?
So
Stop. Don't change anything. Just leave it alone. It'll work its way out.
we have taken Dustin's advice when it comes to that. However, we do live in the modern days, and we do not still use a paper calendar like our neighbor is Fred Flintstone or something. But we do remember that.
Yeah.
Anytime we get it to that scenario, don't forget what Dustin said.
Yeah.
Because it makes a lot of sense. Don't freak out. This is going to happen. Happens every year. It is what
And
it
the
is.
cool thing is he's done it so many times now that he has got into a routine, and that's what's made him so successful, is he's figured it out. So
But the reason why I keep bringing that up is because even though I am quite certain that the vast majority of the people that are in this stream right now are going to say, well, no, I take care of my tanks. I believe you, because you're a crazy enough person to, on a Thursday night, spend the evening with us.
right.
I can understand spending it with her, but spending it with me, you're a fish keeping crazy person. But the majority of fish keepers are not crazy like us. And it is simply a fact. This hobby slows down in the summer. So people have to be neglecting their aquariums. I'm not saying anybody in the chat, but there has to be, I shouldn't even say neglecting. It's just not the highest priority in the summertime. But in the wintertime, or even fall, summer, spring, early spring, they are stuck in their houses more. And so you're going to pay attention more. And because it's right there in your face. And that's why, again, everything goes up in those months. So, again, for us, we're self-employed. We work from home. And our business is aquariums. So nothing really changes for us, and it never really has. Last summer, we were very fortunate to have help here taking care of our aquariums.
I miss that so much.
She did a great job. Daggone it, I wish she would come home this summer. But,
Right.
you know, our tanks have never looked better as they did then.
Well, that's
But
kind of rude because I was taking care of them. So what are you saying?
they look amazing. They look great, although you haven't touched any of mine.
That's because those are your tanks, and you are part of the hobby too. I feed your fish.
Well, I wasn't commenting on your tanks
Oh.
looking better. I'm saying all of them did. Mine certainly looked better. Yours looked better. She did a better job than we did because that was her job.
Yeah, she did good. She did really good because it was like, I remember having to tell her one time, no, don't water change these. I don't water change these all the time. It's very rare. Like I do them once in a while. Don't touch these ones because my nano tanks with all the plants. And
Oh, yeah. The ones that you barely have to water change in.
I add water.
I think we all go on vacation in the summer, and my tank gets at least a week every year. Your tank gets a week vacation every year? Hey, it's fine. That's the way I kind of read that. I look forward to the warmer weather. I have fish. I have fish I put out in the ponds, and water changes are so much easier. Yeah, I mean, why is everybody saying I'm in the doghouse? What did I do? What did I do now? Not everybody's saying that.
He doesn't even know when he does something wrong. That's the funny thing. He's
Well,
just like,
I never do anything wrong. I'm perfect. No. What is it because I said something about the tanks? No.
Yeah.
You know it's the truth. All the tanks looked better when she was here. You know it was the truth. I'm not in the doghouse, Curtis Crump. Stop trying to start problems. But yeah. See, y'all make me lose my train of thought. Where was I at?
it was Curtis ban him. Just
I
kidding,
know.
Curtis.
He is
We're
such
not
a
banning
problem.
you.
He's such a problem. I don't even understand it. Summer is for ponds. Yeah.
Yeah, I love working around the pond. It's my favorite thing in the world. Like just planting around it. I'm finally getting the hang of it. I have to do little spots here and there because if I can't weed all of it at one time, but like remulch here, put new pea gravel there, and add this there. It's so much fun. I've done a lot of different work in it, or a lot of different things in it this year. So looking forward to seeing what it looks like in a couple more months once everything pops more.
That's definitely true. And the water's clear.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar, I mean, and this is a summer doldrums thing. If you have a pond, the pond that we got put in, which I haven't done a video on since last year, not for any reason other than when I put out a pond video, absolutely nobody watches it. I'm not trying to get anybody's sympathy. I'm lucky to have that pond.
But the people that did watch it are people. They
Yeah.
are somebody.
They certainly indeed are people. But when the weather changes, and here the weather changes so drastically and so fast that it just creates an imbalance in the water,
Yeah.
creates a huge algae bloom, and the entire pond turns green. Last year, I did two things to remedy that. One was treating with beneficial bacteria from aquascapes, which I've been doing this year. I've missed a few days in a row. And then you supposedly added plants. But so
Go look at it.
I don't-
There's plants in there.
what are the plants called that you added last year?
I feel like it
Probably
was
something that ends in thumum.
Is it like hyanthus or something?
That sounds right. It is a super cool really neat plant. But good Lord, did I fill up the dumpster with it when we got to the fall. It grew so fast. It reproduced so fast.
Pretty purple flower.
It was so cool because the whole pond was, I mean, it was infested with it, but it looked awesome. I loved that look.
It went across where the waterfall was, and it just looked so natural and beautiful.
I loved it. I wish I could show y'all a photo of the way it looked. But the problem with that is those plants drank so much water, and then you add to that the accelerated evaporation because of the heat. I was putting water in that tank every day, or in that pond every day.
I know.
And it was brutal. That's the only reason why I wouldn't want to add those plants again.
But I did.
Well, okay. I mean, we'll see what happens.
I put less in there. Last year I picked up just five pieces from the nursery, and I stuck them in there, and it was insane. I can't even believe. I even stuck some in the stock tank, and they were growing beautifully. But this year I stuck in one.
Oh, that's funny. I'm not exaggerating. I have a big wheelbarrow. It's one of the wheelbarrows that is so big it has two wheels on the front. I filled that bad boy up 3 times with those little bulbs, and they were perfectly thriving, happy.
People would have
very
bought those.
thriving.
People down in other warmer states where it wouldn't have died off. I mean, they were that was a lot.
It was a problem. It was a beautiful problem to have. Water hyacinth. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, the way you say that. Just read Whiff's World's. That's hyacinth. They're really cool, but it reproduced like duckweed.
Oh, I said hyacinth or
You did.
hyacinth or something like that.
My problem with those is not the way it looked. I loved the way it looked. It's just the way that it
took over.
Took the water. No, it drained the tank out so much. I keep saying tank, but the pond. It's a 1,500 gallon pond, and I had to fill it up for 30 minutes every day, practically. Minimum of every other day.
I saw the water bill.
Yeah. And that was when we had the leak. So it was kind of like adding insult to injury, but yeah, it was brutal. I have not solved the green water issue this year. And that just goes to show you that even the ponds get neglected in the summer.
They don't get neglected. I think more time gets spent with them.
I am so completely consumed by this kitchen remodel that that's been taking up all of my limited space I have for data up here. But I'm going to be, I really hope, finishing a very big part of that project this weekend.
I hope so too.
And it'll be kind of smooth sailing from then.
Yeah.
But if you have a high amount of evaporation, can you decrease water changes? I don't do water changes in the pond. Never have. And it's really not.
Do they mean?
It's really not a necessary thing.
Aquarium?
Well, because of the conversation that we're having, and I was talking about evaporation.
Oh.
I was assuming Jack was talking about that. But if you have excessive evaporation in your tanks and you're filling them up,
Water.
That is a water change.
That's the way I look at it. For my bowls, they get down, they evaporate, so I just add water. I have never water changed one of those bowls that I did. I just add water.
For my pond, I have a UV light in the filter. It keeps green water down. So I also have a device in my pond that is supposed to do that. And that's all I'll say about that. Exposing the ceiling, John. No, that is a project that Lisa will never let me do. No, I'm refinishing the floors.
Yeah, I just
at the
want
moment.
that done. Gosh, if you were to do that, I would never get my kitchen back. My refrigerator right now is in the hallway. In the hallway. My
very
dining
true.
room table has been in the living room for 5 months. So yeah, don't do the ceiling. Just let's forget it exists. If you ever want to see it again, go watch the Money Pit video.
I saved that little clip on my phone. No, refinishing the floors, and that's probably worse. Absolute worst experience of my life. I hate it. I've hated every single minute of it. And I'm going to continue hating every minute of it until it gets to the staining part. I enjoy that part, and I enjoy the finishing process. But yeah, I didn't realize my floors were as bad as they were until I started sanding them.
Yeah, or how much you got to sand. Oh my gosh, just to get to the regular wood.
I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
It hurts my back just thinking about it.
I rented a machine from Sunbelt Rentals, and the machine was fine. Well, I rented two. One of them was a piece of junk, and they gave me my money back. The other one did its job. It was just the worst, and it's the floor's fault, not the machine. And it wrecked my back. Oh, it was the worst.
It's the worst.
Can you do red root floaters in a pond, or is the sun too bright for them? No, what's wrong? What the problem there, in my pond at least, is the flow.
But
The water moves way too much.
Part maybe.
No, that moves a lot. That moves really. That moves in both
I'm
directions.
gonna actually try the red root.
No, you will do no such
Floater.
thing because they
No.
will end up in my filter.
Shh. You don't know what I was gonna say. Let
She
me
just
finish.
shushed me in front of 44,000
Yeah.
people.
I'm gonna
Again.
stick it. I'm gonna stick them in my guppy tank out there. It has no flow.
You were talking about my pond and you know it.
No, I was talking about mine because there's no flow.
That would be that'd be a great way of doing it.
It's doing really good with the duckweed too, and also the one hyacinth, whatever, I put in mine too. So it's starting to fill up. So I'll stick some red root floaters in there too.
Let's be honest with each other. It's no real accomplishment to grow duckweed.
I feel good about it though. Why are you? Don't be mean. I can grow duckweed and I'm proud of it.
We could have Carl pee in a cup
What?
for a few days in a row and then put a few sprigs of duckweed in that pee, and before you know it, it would be overflowing with duckweed. It is. I love it. I'm not a duckweed hater, but we know. We
I
know the real
wear
deal.
it. I wear it. It's so funny.
I get
'cause
it. Yeah.
I'll
it's
be
everywhere.
putting my hands in the tank and duckweed will be on my arm and I'll walk around. I've gone to Food Lion with duckweed. I look good in duckweed. I like, I don't know. I sprinkle it on like glitter these days. So
We started remodeling our kitchen last August, still have the floor to do. I love my house again. I love everything that I've done in my kitchen so far, and I believe my wife loves everything
I
I've
do
done in the
too.
kitchen so far. Everything up until this point has also taken a lot longer than it was supposed to, but it's work that I've enjoyed doing. The best example is the doors, which there's going to be a video on the Money Pit channel coming out within the next week or so on that part of the project. But I had to build 43 doors and drawer fronts. And even though I did that for a living for many, many years, it took me a month to build them, sand them, and paint them. And so,
but
you
that's
know,
not bad considering that you work too.
well, yeah, but you know, I wasn't expecting it to take that long. I wasn't expecting the return duct to take an entire weekend. I certainly wasn't expecting to spend 5 days sanding the floors and still not be done with it yet.
That's why every time you say, "Oh, I'm going to do this this weekend. I'll do this part of it on Saturday. I'll be done on Sunday." I just laugh now because it's the funniest thing.
It never works that way.
I just times everything by like 5 now.
But it's not because I'm slow. It's
No,
because things go
Things
wrong.
happen, I know.
And it's horrible. But Leslie, I'm not trying to scare you. If your floors are normal, it shouldn't be a problem. Our floors were water damaged. You can't tell now, but
Yeah, 'cause
they
you smoothed them out. They're like flat and perfect now.
they were very much water damaged and had I believe I measured it like 1.75 inches worth of finish piled up on them. It wasn't that extreme, but it felt like it was that much.
Pretty bad.
So it was just a nightmare to get through all of that and get it flat. So, did they install the drip system thing Aquascape offers? I know what it is, but I can't kickstart my brain right now. No. I don't even want to say what it is because I'm not saying it's not working. What I have happening in my pond right now is actually a pretty normal thing for a pond that's in direct sun. And, I don't necessarily believe it's the pond's fault. I also, the way the biofalls works in an aquascape pond, the pads and the bio balls and the grate thing that holds it down, and what I don't mean like it's great, I mean like it's a grate, it came loose over the wintertime.
Oh.
And so it was up, and so the filtration was not working efficiently. And the water was butt freezing. I didn't want to put myself down in there to fix it. And so I waited until, but it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
When it was a nice warm day, and I emptied out the biofalls out, and that is not fun to do. Again, not Aquascape's fault. It's my fault because it's just hard to get down in there.
And then there's that green algae that
I cleaned out so much of the algae.
I cleaned out so much of that too.
And when I did all of that, it sparked. It was like lighting a fuse, and everything just bloomed. So it's partially my fault. I'm not blaming it on the pond. I'm not blaming it on the Aquascape equipment. I think Aquascape equipment is absolutely exceptional. I don't even think a super high-powered industrial UV sterilizer would have stopped this algae bloom that we have right now. It's just...
You could always do what you did that time when Whip was here and they came to pick up the cat.
Yeah.
You ran the water for too long. Then you put the what you call it in there and took all the water out, and then you had to put all the water
Should I start
back
advertising all of your mistakes that
was
you've made? For some
hilarious.
reason, you enjoy doing that in front of 80,000 people.
But that was funny.
It wasn't funny if you were me.
It was funny. You did a good water change. It was.
I
That's the way
felt so
looked at it.
stupid because I overflowed it, and then to remedy that problem, took too much water out. And it's like, and Whip's world is like, I listened to this guy for advice on it. Like, he said no such thing, but I wouldn't have blamed him if he did.
It was funny.
Wondering if you still had the pond. You haven't posted about it for a long time now. You know what?
I should do a picture. When it clears up, I should take a picture and at least stick it on Instagram.
I absolutely should do more. Listen, this YouTube game is tough. And when you're in the business of trying to reach as many eyeballs as possible, when you do something and it bombs really, really bad, it kind of takes the wind out of your sails to want to do it anymore. And I hate that because I love the pond. It's one of my favorite things that I have. And I should do more videos about it. But it's kind of like, all right, if I'm going to do a video, what would I do? Like, hey, look, I still have it. Like, I don't know what video to make.
We planted plants
Yeah.
next to it.
I would not know what video to make. So, and I'm not a look what I have kind of person. So I don't know what I'm trying to say. It is what it is.
Just do an update video on your pond.
Maybe I'll do it for members if it ever stops raining.
I don't know. I mean, I think you should do it for everybody. I think it would be interesting. It's that time of the year, you know.
So Dragon Dad did the right thing
Oh,
and tried to be G-rated, but I'm not going to censor him. He did the right thing by censoring himself, but I'm going to read it as it should be said. Children, earmuffs. Sanding hardwood floors is a bitch. then finishing them, then polishing. Yikes. So the finishing, and I don't polish floors, but staining and then clear coating, that's my wheelhouse. I love that part of it. Maybe not at 50, getting down on my knees to do the staining part. I'm probably not going to enjoy that all that much, but that's the part that I love. I was a finisher for a long time, and I love that part of it. But it's just like what I said in that Money Pit video. I love doing drywall, but I hate doing drywall on the ceilings.
Oh, you did good though.
Well,
you
thank
can't
you.
even tell that's up there. That you can't even tell that
I
there
can
had
tell.
been. I can't tell.
I can tell.
But I matter. It's my opinion.
It's true, but
and
I can tell.
I'm the one that has to look up there, and I can't tell. And nobody would walk in our house and say, there used to be something there, and
Oh, yes, they
somebody messed that up.
A drywall guy would. A drywall guy would walk in and go, what's going on there?
We bought the house this way. That's what I would say, but you can't tell. Just saying.
I mean, again, I like that part of it. I like doing drywall, but not on the ceilings. I just bought 2 10-foot umbrellas that hang over the pond just to add some shade. It's not a bad idea.
But our elephant ears are coming in, and they are going to be shade. They're going to be like an umbrella.
The thing is, again, with our pond, this happened last year, and then it went away really fast. It's the change in the temperature, the change in the intensity of the sunlight, and all that kind of stuff. And then, just like this year, last year, I did a big spring cleaning. I think everybody does that. In fact, I've seen a lot of people on YouTube that will drain the pond out completely in the spring.
Oh.
And I don't know if they were using pressure washers or just using whatever the pressure is that comes out of their garden hose and kind of cleaning all of the algae off of the rocks and, almost doing what we say not to do in an aquarium.
I like the algae.
I do too,
Like
but
that,
not
that
now.
kind of algae. I like
Yeah.
that. And the moss that grows up on it,
I love that, but not in the water. But it's going to be a wild thing. Probably within the next week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, all of a sudden I'm going to go out there in the morning and I'm going to be like, oh, look at that. It's going to be crystal clear. That's just what happens. I did, excuse me, last year, one of the things I did was put in the beneficial bacteria. And again, this is a different thing than aquariums. It's not like adding Fritzime 7. It's a different product. It's a powder form product. It's an aquascape product. I used that last year, and you added the plants, which reproduced and went crazy. This year, you added the plants. I've been using the beneficial bacteria, but I don't think it's working, and it's not the product's fault. I had, you'll remember this, a big piece of molding fall off the door. We have a door that goes to the outside of our house that has a big, 14-inch molding on the top.
Oh, yeah.
That I had to take off to replace the door. I put that back up, and apparently I didn't hit a stud because it fell off. And it landed on that bucket of beneficial bacteria and broke the lid. So it's sitting there without a lid on it.
That's why it's like that.
I wanted to contact Greg and say, hey, is this still good? Or should I buy another can? I just never did. So I've been using it without the lid on it. I don't know if that makes a difference or not.
So it might
but
not be fresh.
it's possible.
Yeah.
So I might order another one. And it's a pretty neat system that Greg has. If you order from his website, you've been in his warehouse. His warehouse looks like a Home Depot. It's one of the coolest places I've ever been to.
So
It looks like a Home Depot if Home Depot did what Google does. Like there's a soccer field in there, and it's crazy. Or is it a basketball court? Soccer/basketball. Who cares? It's an amazing place that Greg has there in Chicago. But that's kind of like a distribution hub. He sends all the stuff out to retailers. So when you order off of his website, the retailer that lives the closest to you ships it to you. It's not shipped from him. I think that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool business model that Greg's got. And considering he has a 86,000 square foot warehouse, I think he's doing pretty well. Mm-hmm. That's the size of a Home Depot, quite literally. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Seen it 1,000 times. You been in there, Whip? It is.
How do you know?
Wow. I don't know if he's talking about that or what, but Finsanity said, John, I need to ask Lisa how the heck, gosh, Joe, do you pack them snails? Holy crap, I needed a chainsaw. Nicely packed.
Thanks. I take pride in packing my snails.
You don't even know. It might have been me that packed them. Unless he's talking about the bags.
Bagging them.
Yeah.
I used to, oh my gosh, I would twist and twist and twist, and oh my gosh, it was terrible. I ended up getting carpal tunnel, and it was just so bad. And John was like, let's go back to doing what we used to do. And
Heat sealer. Heat sealer.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I just feel like this is a little bit more, I don't know, just twisting, tight, and just the system I had doing it. I felt better about it. But then once I got the hang of doing this again with the heat sealer, I was like, okay, I got it. I get it. Yeah. Because it had been a while.
Yeah. And, a nice pair of scissors, Joe, is all it takes. But you know what's also tough is sometimes ripping open the bubble mailers.
Oh, jeez.
Those can be tough. So that might be what he's got an issue with, too. And then Joe decided to donate 5 memberships. So thank you so much for that, Joe.
Thank you
then
very
JR
much.
Came in and donated a membership. Thank you, JR, for that.
That's awesome.
Mike Hunt, I see what you're doing there.
You always say that.
But that's the name. So I'm reading the name. Mike
Okay.
Hunt. You rascal, you. That might be the guy's real name.
I know, and wouldn't you feel like a jerk?
But I think he's being a rascal.
I don't know. That could definitely be somebody's name.
And guess what? It's hilarious.
Oh.
And if that's his real name, he knows it's hilarious. So, anyway, became a member. Welcome, Mike. And then Dennis donated his 5 memberships of the week.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, Dennis. Most
He's
of our
so
members
nice.
right now are because of Dennis and Joe and all
Yeah.
of these people, these fine people donating.
And
Dennis is another guy that looks like me. Look at his avatar.
he said it's not a troll, I promise. Told you.
Where does it say that? I don't see that.
He said it right there. It just came through.
That's funny. Yeah, I see you've copied my beard. Lisa doesn't get that joke, but I found out that was ad-libbed in Infinity War, by the way.
Oh.
Thor has a beard. Captain America shows up with a beard, and Thor says to him, I see that you've copied my beard. It's funny. He's Australian, so it makes it sound even funnier.
Ooh, I see. Leslie Perry said American Graffiti. I just watched that like 2 weeks ago.
You did tell me that.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Kevin M. I had my 3-year anniversary in the hobby and went from 2 tanks to 7 in that time.
Ooh.
I owe y'all a huge thank you for making me enjoy this hobby so much. See you at Aquashella? Maybe. And Oscars rule. You daggone right they do.
Isn't Aquashella this weekend in
This
Dallas?
weekend coming up. Yeah.
Shoot, we would have already been there.
We would have been going there today.
Yeah.
Because we always went on Thursdays. I don't know about the other 2 Aquashellas. I can say with the highest level of confidence, LA is a no for us.
I would love to go to the Jersey one.
I
feel
don't-
like that's doable.
I don't have an issue with Los Angeles. But that's like, oh, that's all the furthest possible trip for us is LA.
Well, I mean, it's definitely an all-day trip to go, and then it's an all-day trip to come back. So it's like 2 days of just traveling. I mean, at least that's how it has been for me when I've gone.
No, it's absolutely that. I mean, it's definitely true. And I'm a complete diva. I don't like flying. So I would have to demand a nonstop flight, which would cost an absolute fortune. For us, because Aquashella is not doing that stuff anymore. At least that's what I was told, or we don't qualify or whatever. I don't know. Who cares? So we'd be going on our own dime, and there's no way. LA is a no. But New Jersey?
I think San Diego is nicer than LA anyways. But anyways.
Well, I'm not the one that makes those decisions. So
I know.
I'm looking forward to see how Dallas goes. Dallas is traditionally the biggest show of the year because so much of the fish keeping industry is there. So, if there's a good one to start out with this new ownership and all of that, Dallas is the good place to start.
I personally have always thought the one in Dallas was the worst. But not the show. It's not the show that I thought was the worst.
You don't like the heat.
It's the weather, the heat. You go and
She lives in North Carolina.
You do your hair, you put on the makeup, you walk out, and then it's like, bzzz. I don't know how Zen lives down there.
I've never had that problem.
I know, but it is terrible.
Some of my fondest memories occurred in Dallas, as far as Aquashellas go.
Oh,
Meeting Jake.
yeah.
Going to Dealey Plaza, even though that's kind of morbid, it was like a bucket list thing for me, and it was a fun trip with Jason and Joanna, and Carrie went with us. It was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that very much.
My favorite ones have always been Chicago. I like the weather better. If I'm going to go somewhere, I have to like the weather. I don't like south. I don't like things south of here. It's just too hot.
We were almost killed in Chicago, thanks to Tanner Serpa.
That was Nate, I thought.
Well, Tanner was driving through the city of Chicago with his lights off.
Well,
And then Nate did what he did, made an
yeah.
obscene gesture to a woman next to us. Yeah.
It wasn't obscene. She
thought it was obscene.
Yeah. That was funny.
I'm not going to tell the whole story again because I've told it so many times, but just imagine you're in Chicago. You look over at the car next to you, and it's full of 5 people that you do not know. Well, 4. Me, you, Tanner, and Nate.
Yeah, we were in the back.
And Nate was in the front seat. And imagine this good-looking young guy looks over at you, and he says this while also making a gesture. But then imagine you don't hear what he says. He looks at this lady and says, "You want to pay rock, paper, scissors?"
That was so funny.
Now imagine you're looking over at that car next to you and you can't hear what the guy said, but he's doing this. We were almost killed. I thought we were going to die. No,
and we were on our way to Jason and Joanna's, weren't we?
No, we were on our way back from Jason and Joanna's.
Oh, okay.
Back to the hotel. I kissed the ground of the hotel when we got there because I thought we were going to be killed.
Funny.
I canceled my Jersey hotel tickets when I heard Jason say he believes Aquashella did away with the YouTuber section. Don't quote me though. So I know it is. Oh man, you know what? I don't want to get in trouble here. I'm friends with the people that run the thing. There is not nearly the emphasis on creators that there once was. And it's very sad because it's creators that built that event. And, it's very sad. It was creators like us and Jason and Corey and Joey and Dustin and Rob and so many others. Carrie, Chattanooga Ed, Fish Room Fever. I could keep on going. And I don't think any of the people I just said will be there. Maybe Dustin.
Yeah, because
Maybe
he
Dustin
goes
will
as
have
a
a booth.
vendor. Yeah, he always goes as a vendor.
You know, it just makes me very sad. But Joe, you live so close. I would still go if I were you. But maybe you don't have to stay overnight.
To which one? The Jersey
Jersey.
one? Oh, yeah, Jersey would be. That's the one I would go to if we do go. I would love to try to find, even if we just went on Saturday and left, you know.
Yeah, you're not the one to be driving 9 hours up
I
there.
know. I'd let you have a head start and everything, so you didn't have to drive too tired, you know.
What?
I would, you know, I wouldn't argue if you wanted to leave early and, you know, because you have to drive. Just work with me here.
Rack Cross is in the chat right now, and Rack can attest to old school, back in the day,
Like the Aquatic Expo.
Aquatic Expo and Aquashellas.
And that was Jersey.
The last show I saw Rack at was, I believe, Chicago 2019. Right, Rack? Weren't you there?
I wasn't.
You weren't there. You were sick. And boy, was that a blast. I mean, it was so much fun.
You
That
always
was,
talk about that. You weren't there. Boy,
well,
was it a blast.
it would have been a lot more fun if you were, but you weren't. And but yeah, that was an incredible event, and all of them were.
Yeah.
But then, you know, people stop going, and the people go, but the YouTubers stop going. I'm wearing the T-shirt right now. Yeah. The Aquatic Experience is where we met Rack for the first time. That was at the
Experience.
Meadowlands.
That's what I meant.
Is that what I said?
I said Aquatic Expo before.
Oh, that's Charlotte, and that was a good one too. But anyway, I don't mean to sit here trashing Aquashella. I certainly would never do that. But it is very depressing as a YouTuber that I believe helped quite extensively build that show to just be like pushed to the side. It hurts my feelings a little bit, if I'm being honest with you.
They still do the
But yet, like 4 other creators that are 1 million subscribers and over. Anyway, what were you saying?
Oh, who?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, do they still do the walking through with the glasses?
No. Well, I don't know if they're doing it this year, but they didn't do it the
Because
last
I
couple
think
shows last year.
that was a hit for people that never went. They look forward to that, I think, because they would see that in like videos and stuff, and it's something for, you know, somebody to bribe their kids to go, like, oh, you want to go see this? It's really cool. And so that's a shame if they let that go.
You know, I'm kind of the businessman in me kind of understands why they got rid of that, but at the same time, I missed it too. I mean, it was a pretty neat thing, and the kids loved it. So
Yeah.
the lack of influencers has ruined the show. I'm not going anymore. I'm not spending all that money not to see all of you guys. Yeah, and Emma is somebody that we've
Aw.
seen every time.
Yeah. Well, at
Um,
least
not
like,
every time, but
not
a
every
lot.
time, but quite a few, and yeah, she's fun. Emma's
And
fun.
Emma was part of when creators at Aquashella were at their peak. And what I mean is they had the VIP dinner, which is where I met her for the first time. It was the Aquashella that I was at with Steenfot, and you weren't there in Dallas. Steenfot and a whole bunch of others, not just him, but this is the one he was at and you weren't.
Right, because we just moved here, and I was like, I better stay behind.
Right. And she was at the VIP dinner, which was exclusively for VIP ticket holders. And so that's where I met her. Yeah, I remember Emma. I remember that.
I remember Emma at the
She was at a couple of the VIP dinners.
At the Dallas one, and we all went to that fish store, the fish store. 'Cause we
Yeah,
took
Fish Gallery.
pictures. Yeah,
Yep.
but I I know who Emma is just because I remember seeing her multiple times there.
That's when it was at its peak.
Yeah, fun times.
You know who won't be there is Carrie and Ed because those scumbags did them dirty. It's true. I can't argue with you there, Whip. What I can say, though, is that it was a completely different regime. And you're 100% right. But the same people are not running it now that were then. So, it's not fair to say it to the people who are currently running it, but it was completely fair to say that when it happened, if that makes sense. And that made me extremely mad too, because
they were so good. Like they volunteered so much of their personal time and did so good. Oh my gosh. Like, I look forward to always seeing Ed there and Carrie. It was a fun time.
I worked behind the scenes so much for Aquashellas, and Ed and Carrie were right there beside me every time, and Jason.
Yeah.
And Fishing Fever was hit or miss, and then he kind of went away. I don't know what happened to that guy, but it was the ones that were always there was me, Jason, Ed, and Carrie.
Yeah.
And then we would show up, and John Oliver would be there to help. Not the guy from HBO, but Jay Oliver, the Guppies guy.
Everybody knows Jay Oliver.
And he would always help out.
Carrie's husband.
Absolutely. Jesse was always a part of it. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Being someone who does what we do for a living, it was really the only time we ever got to just hang out with friends was at those events. And now it's gone.
Yeah.
It's not gone, but it's gone for us, and it sucks. But they need to do a show in NC. We got that Southern Charm happening and really great barbecue too. Well, you daggone right, we got all of those things. But you know what you're not right about, Dragon Dad? There is a show.
It's already passed. It was in February.
Yeah. The Aquatic Expo is in Charlotte. So look that up. Now, Charlotte is the very far southwest of the state. We're on the complete opposite part of the state, but it's about 5 hours from us. I don't know where you're at, Dragon Dad, but if you're in southern or western North Carolina, it's not that far from you.
It was fun last year. We didn't go this year, but it was a fun time.
Texas barbecue is superior. Oh, I have to argue with you there, Zach. Come here. We'll take you out to barbecue. We'll show you what real barbecue is. That's all I got to say about that.
Oh, Colin.
Oh,
it's the best.
I mean, why don't we just write down our address and let everybody know where we live, for crying out loud?
Oh. Do you want me to?
You might as well. You're trying so hard to let everybody know.
We live in between a sweet potato field and a watermelon field, just so you know.
Yeah, there's not very many of those. So, John the businessman in you should create a new one. Oh, good Lord, if I could, I would. But those shows cost way more money than you think.
Oh, yeah. I think you lose money more than you make.
I know the two former owners of Aquashella. One of them I know very well. Just saw him 2 weeks ago. The other, I know, I've had many, many, many conversations. I'm very fond with him. Don't know him as well as the other one. I have learned things that you wouldn't know unless you talk to the owner of the show. It took several years of doing 3 shows a year to turn a profit. I'm just telling you. So, I'm trying to turn profit on my business already. I don't, there's no way we could do that. And we don't have the pull to just bring everybody in. Like, it just wouldn't work. And I wish we could, but there's already one right down the road from us anyway. So them's fighting words. Uh-oh. I hope I didn't say something wrong. It's about the barbecue. Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. Just because you live in Texas, Zen, doesn't give you the right to just act like I don't know what I'm talking about. Who's the food expert here? Obviously, it's not you. It's me. Look at me. You can tell. North Carolina barbecue, superior. Everybody knows it, so you just knock it off. I'd watched so many streams, and you would constantly see Carrie walking in the background. I'm not sure she sat down at all during the event.
Yeah, I don't think she slept either.
Yeah, so the way that worked for like 3 years, and it might have even been longer than that, but because of COVID, it got screwed up. But the 4 people that I mentioned earlier, me, Jason, Ed, and Carrie, and then there was Rob Lupton. Rob was basically the person in charge of the creator thing at the event. And then, Rob's business is very busy. He wasn't able to do it anymore, so he had to bail out. And Carrie became the one that ran the whole thing. A lot of people don't know that. And she worked very hard. She was the one that all the creators would contact to get tickets and to make arrangements and do all of that. She did so much work behind the scenes, and then they just basically forgot about her. And I think it was tragic. Like Whip's World said, it was a daggone shame. But again, it's not the same people, so maybe it's going to be different. James is such a good guy. I talk to him every once in a while, but it's been a minute now. Yeah. I don't know. I'd love to know what happened with him. I hope everything's all right.
Oh.
Raleigh area. Charlotte is a toilet.
That's hilarious.
Not being a city guy myself.
Have you been to Richmond?
Yeah.
Have you been to Baltimore? I mean, we've been to those cities. Been to Raleigh. I think Raleigh's better than those.
People in Baltimore know Raleigh's better than Baltimore. But the thing is, I think Raleigh and Charlotte are pretty similar. From a rural guy.
I mean, Charlotte's
a little busier.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone a couple times, but I've had to go through there multiple times for field hockey games to the colleges and stuff. But I was so disappointed when I went to the one, the Embassy Suites in Charlotte, the one by the racetrack. It was gross. I was like, where am I at? Red Roof Inn? Like, what the heck? It was terrible. So I guess maybe I wasn't in the good part? I don't know. I just wanted to sleep.
When we went to the Aquatic Expo, that hotel we stayed at was right.
Yeah, that wasn't the same one. It was a different one because they even...
I don't even think it was an Embassy Suites,
parked.
was it?
Yeah, it was.
It was? Okay.
But they valet parked and everything there.
Yeah, that place was legit. Sorry, text is better. It's all about brisket. I think he meant Texas. Pork sucks. I prefer brisket over anything that comes from a pig too, except for bacon. But, I mean, you think North Carolinians don't make a good brisket? You're out your mind. Come on over. We'll show you how it's done here. I won't do it because I can't cook worth nothing. I can cook a ribeye. That's about it. I can cook macaroni and cheese.
No, you don't eat that anymore.
No, I don't, but...
Hey, you can. I gave it all away. I gave it to Izzy.
You gave her all our macaroni and cheese?
I sure did.
Nice.
Because you're not supposed to be eating that. So I got the bag out and I took all the boxes of macaroni and cheese and stuck it in the bag and sent it home with Jordan. I said, John, don't need this. And she loves it.
Texas and North Carolina have nothing on Kansas City, and I'll say it to face. Come on, Whip. Learn how to type. First of all, you don't live in Kansas City, so what are you even talking about? And second of all, you're a lot bigger than me, so I'm not going to argue with you. But he's been here twice, and we didn't get barbecue either time.
Yeah.
We went to Pizza Hut. Not his fault.
That's your fault.
The
first time.
Yeah, I mean.
I made chili. Didn't I make my homemade chili when him and Kevin came?
I don't remember them eating here.
They did. They ate because I think they were talking about the car and gas and stuff on the way home.
Like gas or gasoline?
Yeah.
She said yeah to both. Welcome to my world here. NC barbecue. Oh yeah. I mean, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm talking trash because we live in North Carolina, so I'm telling you North Carolina's better. But I'll eat barbecue from anywhere, and I don't care. We've been to barbecue and in Texas. We walked.
That was good though.
We stepped over top of human feces in Dallas on that underpass. I didn't say underpants. I said
That was nasty.
Yeah, we had to step over poop that was on the ground. It was trifling.
Next to their bed.
But the barbecue place was great.
Yeah. It was good. I forgot about that. What was it that they made that was really good? It was a
Barbecue.
Besides that, was it the macaroni and cheese? Didn't it have bacon on it and stuff too or something?
I don't remember.
Oh
I just remember it being, yes.
It was good.
Rob ran it last year. He was the one got me in as a creator. Yeah, so that is very true. He did take back over. I don't know if he's still doing it though, but he could be. I don't know.
Oh, Rack said we have Virginia barbecue with John and Lisa. We did. We went to Dickey's. But isn't that a franchise?
We did go to Dickey's with Rack, didn't we?
I think it's in that picture right there. We took that picture at Dickey's after we ate.
Dickey's, I think, is a franchise, but I think they might be, I don't know. But it's definitely a franchise. But there is actually a restaurant called Virginia Barbecue, too, or it used to be. I don't know if they're down here, if they're around
Why would
anymore,
they be in Virginia? Why would Virginia barbecue be in North Carolina?
No, I'm not saying here. I'm saying when we lived up there. But I don't remember.
This one little hair just keeps bothering me.
I don't know if they're still around. You're both wrong. South Carolina barbecue is by far the best. I'm sure it's good. Barbecue is good everywhere. Come on down to Georgia and have some Southern Soul barbecue. Guy Fieri? I like to say Fieri because I'm not Italian, but would approve. I'll do it. I'm fine with that.
Daniel said Dickey's is McDonald's barbecue. That's what, yeah, it is kind of.
I mean, barbecue for me is like pizza. I'll eat any of it.
I really like the potato that you get at those barbecue places. The potato, and then you load it up with the brisket and the cheese and the sour cream and the butter and sour cream and more cheese and so good.
Sounds good to me. Kansas City's got too much sugar. Oh, I don't have a problem with that. Bring it on. Bring on the sugar. The whole thing has been turned on its head. They aren't even doing a creator booth, last I heard. I feel like there's one on their floor plan. I'm not going to look it up.
Hey, have you done all the super?
No, I am very much behind on that.
Oh, okay.
Leslie Perry said, how long can the plants live in a tank if I add them as they arrive still in those containers? I like to wait until I do a water change to place them. You can keep them in there quite some time, Leslie. They've never been anything but the rock wool pots. They'll be fine in that for months if you need to. Get them out as soon as possible to get them planted and let their roots spread and do all of that. But no, they'll be fine. You can keep them in there. If you're just waiting for your next water change, you'll be fine. Leo's Aquariums and Reptiles. Lisa, do you know that Mandy has a baby orca named Spot?
A baby orca? Really?
Who's Mandy? Oh, that one. Wow. A baby orca named Spot. Why is he being a rascal?
Who's Mandy?
I've never called her that. I just know her as that jerk that yells at me all the time.
Zen, or her name.
Well, I know. I didn't know if she wanted that said online in front of hundreds of thousands of people. John can't wait for the Christmas Day game. Go Cowboys. How dare you? Oh, yeah, Puffers rule. The Commanders are playing the Cowboys on Christmas Day this year. That'll be a lot of fun.
Christmas Day?
Yep. Yeah, my team got
good.
Really hurt by being good.
Yeah.
The better the team is, the harder the schedule is. They've got like 8 primetime games, which is great for, that used to be a curse. Play in prime time, my team loses. But now, not so much. Snaffa Mary.
She won last.
I know. Thank you for the great Northfin foods. I received them yesterday, and my fish are already enjoying the great food. That's awesome.
Hey,
I'm so glad. Yeah, I don't remember exactly who won what, but I know we sent that out. You sent that out Friday or Monday? Friday.
Yeah, it was the Dynerics mix. And then I don't remember if she won the community or... Yeah, I forgot.
She won great food. That's all we know.
Good stuff.
Matthew Ploden there thought about a yard garden pond. Then I'm like, there's a 13-acre pond 300 yards from my house. My grandfather and father built in the 50s.
Whoa.
Besides some property maintenance from me and my brother, I already have one. Yeah, I mean, what more do you need? 13 acres, good grief. I have been absolutely, for years, fascinated with that gentleman in Alabama. I cannot recall the name of the channel to save my life, that built the 5-acre bass pond.
Wow.
Bought a piece of property specifically to build this pond, and he's got like a little Airbnb on it and everything. Like, it's really neat. But then I saw how much it cost him to do that, and I was like, Bama Bass, there you go. I was like, what? Yeah, I'll never be doing a project like that. But here we could basically dig a hole and we'd have a pond. But
yeah, just like use a shovel and go out every few days and dig a little bit. You'll get there.
What she means to say is, yeah, you, John, would go out there every couple of days and dig a little bit.
I know how to use a shovel. I do it all the time. But it'd probably go a little faster if you did it.
You see what's happening here, folks?
Hey, I dug that hole out here next to the fish house and stuck that
You did a very good job on that,
stock
too.
tank in it.
Cody James, I got 2 yo-yo loaches for my 20 long beta tank. Beta started off aggressive but chilled out. Will this be okay? Or should I take them back?
They usually hide and you don't even know they're in there.
Yeah, it started off aggressive but then chilled out. If everything's okay, I mean, the beta was just trying to see, hey, what is this? What's happening here? What's going on? Once they realized they were not under threat, he's fine with them now. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
If they're getting along now, I wouldn't worry about it.
I mean, they hide. They don't even need to be friends because they hide so much, right? I've had them and didn't even realize I had them after years.
The yo-yo loaches?
Yeah, I've been like, what? I forgot you even existed. I hadn't seen you in so long.
Are you confusing them with coolie loaches?
That's right. Coolie loaches.
Oh, I've
So I'm
got my
giving
stories
bad
about
advice
coolie loaches.
because I totally got my fish confused.
But that's a loach thing across the board, though. So it's not, you're not wrong. But yeah, I mean, if the aggression stopped, then you should be good. You never know, but you should be good. MF Cool 83 became a member and has been a member for 37 months.
Wow.
And just like the person in the beginning that was asking about it, still a fry. Everybody's a fry. Leo's Aquariums and Reptiles again. Question for the both of you. What's your favorite Northfin bottom dweller food? Don't even have to think about it.
Kelp wafers. Duh.
Yep.
I'll show you.
And that's going to be both of us. I got all 3 bag sizes in there.
Kelp wafers for the win.
I filmed a video today about that food. That's why it's sitting over there.
Oh, what about this one that's open?
I use that one too.
Because we feed our fish kelp wafers too.
Yep. It's the truth. It's one of the finer fish foods on the planet as far as I'm concerned. And it's not just for plecos and algae eaters. And that's one of the main points that I made in this video.
Love it. Fish will, even your community fish will go down and peck and eat at it. It's really good. So.
Everybody will, and it's good for everybody. Is it a staple food for Oscars? No. And even The owner of Northfin would tell you that.
My snails like it.
Everything likes it.
Everything, yeah.
I love watching community fish eat it because they'll all be gathered around it, pecking at it. Corys will do that. You know, it's like us eating a salad every once in a while. She feeds me salads just about every night now.
I do. I make you a salad every day.
And
I
they're wonderful.
Make it with love, you know, with all that cutting of everything. I make it with love. So I'm looking here because Jennifer Anderson asked if this is for saltwater fish too. That's a good question because...
Well, there's a tang on the, or not a, yeah, there's a blue tang on the
Heck
thing.
yeah. Check that out. See? Guess so.
So the answer is yes. We don't use it for saltwater tanks, but we could. I mean, the clowns probably wouldn't do much with it, but the foxface would like it. The goby would like it. Yeah, it's one of the absolute best all-round foods you're ever going to get. Kelp, spirulina, whole Antarctic krill. It's got everything in it. The video will come out very soon. Like I said, I've just filmed it today. I edited a video today too, but not that one. So it'll come out soon.
Curtis Crump said salad. That's what my food eats.
Yeah, I had to make a change a few weeks ago. That's a few weeks, right?
It's been a month.
I'm down 10 pounds. You can't tell because
tell.
it's all right here.
I can tell because your shirts are getting baggy. And I'm like, man, I wish you would go down a shirt size.
I'm not comfortable going down a shirt size yet, but another 10, I'll probably go down to smaller size. But, and you know, she's feeding me salads every night, and they're beautiful. It's wonderful.
Santa asked, Santa, that's funny. For a 10-gallon beta tank planted, can I put 3 cherry shrimp in it? Well, for food,
you can.
for food as a snack, or you know, I have had better success with a mono shrimp, large mono shrimp with betas, not cherry shrimp. So I mean, I wouldn't risk it. I mean, if you don't care that you may never see them again, but if you want them to breed and have little baby cherry shrimp and stuff, that's not going to happen with a beta.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like you're throwing in really expensive feeders for the beta. I mean, yeah, betas are cute and they're adorable, but they are vicious little creatures that will eat your shrimp if you put them in there.
But I've had success. When I had my sorority tank, I had a mono shrimp in there and they were fine.
Yeah, and Amanos are usually even big when you get them. Like they're at the store, they're already 1.5 inches. So are Northfin nanobits too small for Apistos? No. They're little, but you know, you'd probably also be fine with like the 1 millimeter cichlid pellets or Apistos. Would they like the veggie too, or even the super mix? There's a lot. The super mix is 2 millimeter though.
Yeah, it might be too big.
Northfin has a few 1 millimeter pellet foods that'll be great for
like
Apistos.
I would say Bug Pro, Nanobits.
Why do I always forget about Bug Pro? It's so amazing. I don't know why that's always slips my mind. Salads mean fiber. Fiber for 50-year-old men is gold. Don't I know? It's been working. I've always liked salad, but I'm just going to eat a salad guy.
I think you're just the type of person that doesn't want to take the time to make the salad, to peel the cucumber, to cut the cherry tomatoes, to do the things. And now
you are so wrong. You were not here on Tuesday. I had to feed myself, and I did exactly what you do, except I didn't do the cucumbers.
Of course not, because you have to peel it.
But I did the tomatoes.
Ooh.
And I took the lettuce like you do, and the cheese, and then that was it. That was fine.
There's way more to it. There's way more involved because I sprinkled love in it. So
Let's not get weird here, lady. Are Amano shrimp fine with angelfish and Corey's in a 55? Amanos are bigger shrimp. Do you have them in there right now, Amanos? Or they're in that one?
yeah, they're in with my all-male guppy tank that has babies now.
They're not in the baby what?
Baby guppies.
The guppy tank? Oh,
Yeah.
the males. See, it's 2025.
Stop. I guess I thought one of the girls was extra pretty and thought she was a male. She ended up being a female. Now I've got like a bunch of babies in there. I'm like, dang it, I was so careful.
If it's a salad, it's got to have some type of meat in it. We'll see. What we've been doing
Yes.
is cooking steaks and then having a salad with the steak.
Mm.
So you want to talk about a happy guy. I'd 7 days in a row had a ribeye steak and a salad.
He's trying to do the keto diet.
No, modified.
Yeah. So
Modified.
more like a low carb. So we haven't been having the rice, the pasta, the bread, the fried foods, sugar, like candy and stuff like that. So I think it's helped a lot.
Well, 10 pounds so far. So the scale don't lie. You have a better working knowledge of Northfin foods other than the arowana sticks. Are you aware of any other larger floating pellets that they make?
The tropical sticks.
There you go. And it says 3 millimeter, but they're basically the same size as the arowana. So there's your answer right there. This is what she, most days, 6 out of 7 days, and then one day I'll feed them. She feeds the Oscars this, and then drops in the bag. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the bag. There's Krill Pro there, and you can just make out the edge of the carnivore bag. She puts in this and carnivore for the bikers, and they all do extremely well.
And unless Carl gets into the carnivore bag, then we don't have problems. So, Yusha Daisy says, "What? No rice? That's blasphemy." Yeah,
I
and
miss
I'm
rice.
Rice, because I made rice probably 5 days a week. I made it with everything. Rice. I love rice. I miss rice.
I miss rice more than I do pasta.
Yeah,
Maybe
me
not bread,
too.
but
Yeah, I could do without the pasta. I like spaghetti. I miss spaghetti, but I miss rice more.
I've been taking a sip every time John says salad, and I'm going to be snookered by Ed's stream. Salad. You're screwed, Rack. Oh, sorry about that. Salads don't taste good without the sprinkle of love. It's true. When I made my own salad the other day, was nowhere near as good. It didn't have that Lisa Love in it. It definitely makes a difference. That's awesome, guys. I've been doing carnivore for a year, down 85 pounds. Wow.
That's great.
I want to do about 30 more. I don't want to. So it'd be a total of 40 for me. That's where I'm headed. And things keep going the way they are. I'll be there in a few months, probably. But I'm not in a hurry. It's more of a health thing than it is a weight thing. The weight's just kind of a bonus. So.
Yeah, I like it because I feel like it's helping with my muscles toning more. I've noticed a difference with my arm weights.
My muscles are probably toning, but I just can't see them yet because there's so much covering them up.
What?
I got a lot of insulation between.
I see it right there in your arms. You're like
Yeah,
this.
whatever.
You're like,
Sure. Does this diet include no more pop? I mean soda. Yeah, come on, pop. What do we live in freaking Northeast or something?
isn't that what? I'm pretty sure that's what Joanna calls it. Did she?
That's a Midwest thing.
Oh, okay.
Caffeine-free diet Pepsi. it tastes like diet soda, but it's better than not having soda at all. That's
I like
just what it is.
Well, I don't have one with me, but I like the water bottles that are the ice brand, the different flavors.
Yeah, I like those too. I just
so
never
much.
get to have any of them because you drink them all.
I'm not going to hey, it sits there for like 5 days and you don't drink it. So I do. I'm not going to let it go to waste. It might spoil.
Feel amazing now from 280 to 195. Yeah, that's
good.
massive. That is wild. I don't think she will let me. Lisa is actually a very mean person. She's a very mean person. She's very cruel and she hurts my feelings.
You want a tissue?
Back in 2010, I got under 200 pounds. That was the last time I was under 200 pounds. I usually, when things are normal and I'm not 50, I would usually walk around 210, 215, but I got down to 198, and this cruel, horrible person sitting across from me said I looked like a bobblehead.
I did not. You wanted to get down farther, and I said, no, then you're going to look like a bobblehead. And when I say that, I'm referring to the one that you use on the thumbnail. I can't help it. You looked good when you were at 198. You didn't need to go any farther down. That's all I was trying to tell you. You were perfectly fine.
For me to go to 198 is like a bodybuilder training to go on stage. Like, I have to work so hard and do all this cardio, and I'm not willing to put in that much work. I was 35 when I did that. I'm not 35 anymore.
Yeah, and I think that's the same time I went down to 119 and I looked like I was anorexic.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Stop.
I'm not saying
You're
you
going to
look...
get yourself in trouble.
No. I've never seen you look bad. That's what I'm trying to say. You didn't... You say you looked bad. I say that's ridiculous.
I just think my face got too skinny.
Wasn't nobody looking at your face. Anyway,
shut up.
Oh, that's so funny. I weigh 182. I need to lose like 5 pounds. Oh, cry me a river, Leo. Jeez. I'm 34. Thanks, John, for making me realize I'm old. No, Leo. What I was saying was I was 35 then. It was a lot easier to do what I did.
Yeah. So what he's saying is take advantage of it now.
Yeah, you're in a good place.
In 15 years, you're screwed.
I mean, if you're able to maintain where you're at now until you're my age, you'll be great. But if you put on, in your case, 60 pounds, that's where you'll be up where I'm at. Well, was. And yeah, it's not fun. It hurts a lot. Recently lost 55 pounds down to 245. I'm 6 feet. That's
impressive. I think that anybody that can lose, like, I'm not trying to say if you lose 10 or 20, that's not a big deal. But when you're losing like 50 and 80 and 100, oh my gosh.
That takes a massive commitment.
That's crazy. That's just like, that's impressive.
I made the changes that I made because I felt like garbage and I wanted to feel better. And it worked. I mean, the changes I made helped with that a lot. Cutting out the carbs, I did hit that wall after like a week where I felt like I wanted to just go to bed. I felt horrible. And then that went away. And I guess my body adjusted to it. And so now the real work is beginning.
We do feel better though.
I haven't been doing any of the cardio work that I was doing because I've been working on these stupid floors for a week straight. Keto flu is bad. Yeah, I actually asked her, I said, I wonder if that's what it is, because I was just walking around feeling like I just wanted to go to bed all the time.
I was like, let's go for a walk. let's go for a walk. Like,
I felt horrible. And then like somebody flicked a switch. It was gone. I felt great. I was like, what? It's weird.
I did something last week I haven't done in probably ever, or at least willingly.
You did what? Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I started intervals. My version.
I had to take her temperature because I was like, do you have a fever? You're wanting to go run? I've been with you 16 years. I've never known you to want to go run.
Yeah, I just was like, I want to run. And I went out there and I ran.
I was running.
I was running. Not fast. The first couple times, my body was like, what's going on, Lisa? What you doing? Yeah, it's like I didn't even know how to run. I was like, running down the road. I looked so stupid. And then I figured it out. And yeah.
When she was hungry, she ate. When she needed to sleep, she slept. I'm not even going to say it.
Forrest Gump.
I used to weigh 240. I still do, but used to too. That's good.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Well, that was Rack that said that.
No, Jennifer said, go girl, that's amazing.
Yeah, I was impressed.
I think about you all the time, Jennifer, because I have your bee on my desk in my office.
The house remodeling is exercise. Oh, you have no idea, Brent. That machine with the floors, that thing took me for a ride. I got all the footage. I'm going to be doing a video on the Money Pit channel, but I'm just going to say it. It's going to be a video of me doing a lot of complaining.
Just make sure you definitely edit out the part where I didn't know that I didn't know you had the camera there, and I went pee, and it's pointed towards the bathroom. I didn't shut the door because it's my house. But good thing you weren't live streaming.
I was I was going through the footage today and saw that because she mentioned it. I had the camera on one side of the room going all the way across, and you'll see footage of this where the bathroom is in the background, but obviously where she
cut that part out.
You can't see anything, but it's so clear what she's doing. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll be editing that out. It's yeah. That is hilarious though. And I'm glad I saw it, not to be weird, but like it would be so easy to miss. And then it ends up on a video but
yeah, like the time we were doing the podcast and I was like, I gotta pee. And you were supposed to edit that part out and you didn't.
Never did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough. Working on floors equals cardio. It definitely did. It was more of a lower back thing. The machine, the drum sander, was like that much too short for me. I'm 6 feet tall. If I was 5'10", it would have been fine. But because I had to hunch over that 2 inches, it wrecked me. And I mean, I seriously was in pain. Like it was brutal. It's fine now, but it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
I was really glad. And you want to hear something embarrassing?
Is that the night I gave you a massage?
You did. It was very nice of you to do that.
The mean person that I am.
It took everything I had to get that machine up into the truck to take it back to the rental place. The machine weighs 125 pounds, which is not outrageous, but it's so awkward to try to pick it up and put it in the bed of a truck. Especially after you've just completely annihilated your back for 5 days straight. I barely got it up in there. I put it in, I took it back to the place, and I went in there and I was like, y'all got anybody that could help me get this thing out of the truck? Because ain't no way I'm going to be able to do it. The guy behind the counter is like probably 60. And he was like, that's no problem. We got you. So we go out to the truck and I'm getting ready to do, and the 60-year-old guy just grabs it and just takes, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he was like, oh man, I carry this thing around every day. I'm like,
Wow, I bet that made you feel like a weak person.
I was not 6 feet tall anymore. I was like 5'4" for the rest of the day. I felt so stupid, but
Oh.
it is what it is. As I'm getting up to grab a chocolate chip cookie. Now, Joe? Was that Joe that said that? I think it was Joe. I don't miss the sweets.
I thought I would. I thought I would miss the gummy savers because I was addicted to a pack of gummy savers a day almost. But yeah, I actually don't even feel like I get hungry as much anymore. So yeah.
Do you incorporate any fasting? No. I mean, her and I, our schedules are so weird. We eat dinner late. I consider it late. I grew up in a household where it was 5:30. You're eating every day. That was 30 years ago. But still.
30? You didn't live with your mom when you were 20?
I moved out when I was 19. So, excuse me, 31. But
She still made your dinner?
no.
Oh.
I said when I was growing up, lady. Knock it off.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I consider eating dinner at 7:30 late, but we eat that then a lot. But then I don't eat 3 meals a day. I eat at like 10:30 in the morning and then dinner time. So there's no
Zen.
fasting there.
She's funny. Lisa was up to a pack a day. A pack of gummy savers.
That's so funny.
Hilarious.
Does anybody know the score of the Caps game or what the score ended up
No,
at?
because everybody's watching a YouTube live stream called KG Tropicals.
I have to check that. The game's over now. Well, it should be anyway, unless it's the longest hockey game in history.
Wow.
I need to make sure the season's not over.
Oh. The Marine Josh said protein cookies and sugar-free lollies are awesome. Protein cookies, I've had some of those. They're not bad.
I thought the game started at like 5. It's 1-1. Okay.
Oh, Zen said it's 1-1.
Yeah. Thank you, Zen. Stephen P. wants to lose 3 pounds. That's going to make
That's
quite
a-
the difference there, Stephen P.
That's a goal.
Yeah.
Just go pee.
But I think I think Stephen P's like 6'4", so 3 pounds. That's yeah. I mean, a good solid dump will take care of that in one sitting.
You might lose 5.
Floors are hard, especially when you have to sand and level. Yeah, and not only that, Nick, but it's heart pine floors. And so many people, when you hear pine, you think, oh, well, that's a softwood. And normally you'd be right, but not heart pine. Heart pine is one of the hardest woods in the world. It's like sanding stainless steel. So it was the worst. If I'm running, something's gone wrong. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way at this point, Curtis. Somebody's hurt. Something's on fire. Somebody fell. There was an accident. That's when I'm running.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of, the other day on Sunday, my daughter and my granddaughter came for Mother's Day, and my granddaughter was running in the road because she just plays in the road. Just kidding. No, our road is pretty dead half the time, and there's never any cars. So she's running a little bit down the road, and my daughter tells her to stop, and she doesn't. And she kept going, and then she sticks her hands behind her, and she's running like she's a duck, and then she fell, and she got, a little boo-boo. But this kid cracks me up. My daughter was asking her, is mommy pretty? And she said, no. Is mommy silly? She said, no. Is mommy funny? And she looks at her and she's like, funny looking. And it's so funny to hear a 2-year-old. She's hilarious. She's just the funniest thing in the world. But that reminded me of that.
John, I have bad news. Washington is not going to win. I'm sorry. Well, that's just mean, is what that is. See, the interesting thing about the Caps right now, they're in the playoffs. The Washington Capitals are playing, you'll understand my dilemma, The Carolina Panthers.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Carolina Panthers. Carolina Hurricanes.
Kenzie's been doing things on her story about them.
I mean, the Hurricanes would be, because we live in North Carolina, my second team. If they win tonight, I will be very upset with them, but I will then begin rooting for them. But I love my Caps, and it's coming down to the wire for Ovi. And even though, he's the best player to ever play the game, I still would like to see him go out with a championship. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be.
Okay, you can argue he's not the best player, but he's the best goal scorer, and that's not even up for debate. It's just a fact.
Facts are facts.
Dinner is at 3, supper's at 7. What does that mean? Supper. I remember I had friends that would call it supper, and I'd be like, what?
Is that like a late lunch? And then dinner is...
Some people in some places call dinner supper, kind of like they call soda pop. Weirdos. I don't know.
No, but what if you still have dinner? Because he had supper and dinner.
Well, I don't know.
That's why I said, is it like a late lunch?
I guess so. I guess in his world, it is.
In his world?
I've seen that movie like 12 times, and I don't remember that. I may need to take some ginkgo or something. What movie? What do we...
Oh, wait.
Mean Girls? Oh.
Oh.
I see. Is that where you got that from, Stephen P? Okay.
Said, yeah.
I have not seen that movie, so
What?
I wouldn't know. I only run when there's a zombie apocalypse. Yeah, I mean, like Curtis Crump said, something has to be wrong. Like, I've been walking Reacher, and she like goes after a squirrel, and I'm just like, well, there she goes. I'm not running after her. Are you crazy? She runs as fast as a freaking Volkswagen.
She is fast.
What am I going to do? And her dragging the leash behind her. Pap, 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 pap. I'm like, well, she'll come back. But I agree. I think a zombie apocalypse would probably make me run.
Yeah.
But zombies are never really fast unless you're watching World War Z. So,
I mean, I guess everyone's just going to wait around and see if a zombie gets them before they ever learn how to run.
Yep. He's a great goal scorer. Agreed. Well, you know what, Tyler? You said a mean thing to me, and so I don't care if you agree. It's just a fact. I mean, he passed Wayne Gretzky. Are you kidding me?
Oh.
Nobody in a million years ever thought that would happen, and he did it. And so it cannot be argued, and I hope it's 27 years or whatever it is that the great one had that record. I hope Ovi holds that record that long. Who else is going to get that? I mean, if for people who don't know, the Washington Capitals, hockey is not a very popular sport. Every hockey fan now is like, what? But it's true. Compared to all of the other sports, it's not very popular. But the Washington Capitals have a player named Alexander Ovechkin, and he has the record for the most goals scored in a career. And he broke Wayne Gretzky's record, and Wayne Gretzky was always looked at as like the Michael Jordan of hockey, and still is looked at as the Michael Jordan of hockey. And a lot of people that don't know what they're talking about have said, well, Ovi's played a lot longer than Gretzky did. No, he broke the record in the exact same amount of games, which is weird, but it's true. So, yeah, that's nonsense. And I don't care what Tyler says. He is the new great one. They do call him the Great Eight, Alex Ovechkin. And I've watched his career for the last 20 years. I got you interested in hockey because of him. Your daughter had a crush on him for many, many years.
Which was really weird.
He's not a very attractive man.
We got front row seats or whatever that one game. It was her Christmas present, and I took her to see the hockey game, and he was right there. She's like, "Oh, V!" I can't even say it the way she said it. Was hilarious.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate to go to many, 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 many games. Seen Ovi score many, 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 many times. It was a true. I've watched Wayne Gretzky play too. I went to a Caps game against the Kings when he played for the Kings, and I got to see I have seen in my lifetime the two best goal scorers in the history of hockey. I've seen them both play. So there you go.
Well, I like Wilson
Oh, I do too.
because he likes to fight. He's fun.
Had Capitals season tickets until we moved to the Outer Banks. Well, yeah, it's kind of the same story as us, except we didn't have season tickets. But we went to quite a few games. Before we moved, I started really wanting to go for all the bobblehead games. We went to 2 bobblehead games. It was John Carlson bobblehead night and Tom Wilson bobblehead night. And in fact, we went to the Tom Wilson game the night before going to one of the Aquashellas.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. Yeah. Because I got my socks up to my knees and I had my Wilson jersey on and I was ready.
Yep. And I wore my John Carlson because he's number 74. I was born in 74. His name's John. My name's John.
You're like twins.
He is ravishingly good looking, and I am not, but no, anyway.
Y'all are like twins.
If you invite Ovi for dinner, what time are you expecting him to show up? Now, that might be the weirdest question anyone has ever asked, but I feel like that is a insider joke question. Like, he's going to say the answer, and I'm going to be like, oh. Still it's confused if dinner's at 6 p.m. or some other time. Well, Ovi's not going to show up to too many 6 p.m. dinners because they usually have the first face-off at 7, so. Ovi did it in a meaningful way, not just hanging around. Well, you know what? The last 4 or 5 years of his career, Ovi has been, they call it his office. He does have kind of a spot where he likes, like if he's there and he gets a shot, it's over. But the beginning of his career, oh, God. He has some of the most unbelievable goals I've ever seen. But then again, Wayne Gretzky, get out of here. I mean, that guy was not even human.
Jennifer Anderson said, I know nothing about hockey, so here's a question. What is in the corner of your lab tank that keeps them crowded in that one spot?
The food.
That's where I feed them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when we're in the room, they assume it's feeding time. And so they're there thinking we're going to feed them.
Yep. They're waiting.
And you see the bag of food sitting right up above where they're at.
Yep.
So they're like, they've been wondering for 2 hours now,
Like,
when is this stuff going to fall?
When are we getting our food?
Oh, did I miss these? High Performance Trucking. I got the fish food. The fish love it. Awesome. He's the other winner from
I remember.
From that. Brent Russell gifted 1 channel membership. Thank you for that, Brent.
Thank you.
And Dysfunctional Potato became
That's
a member.
Cute name.
That is funny. And I believe the avatar, well, I believe it's a potato.
Awesome.
I think. Whatever you got to tell yourself to sleep at night. Okay, what did Leo say now? Mandy, Dallas sports rule. Leo doesn't live in Dallas, so I don't know why he feels that way. Shame on you. I think I've said this to you before, Leo. I know where you live. And you should be ashamed of yourself because you have the option of like 8 teams that you can root for. And you pick the Cowboys? What kind of an idiot does that? Like, I'll tell you who does that. Somebody who wants to piss off their father. That's what they
Like your ex-brother-in-law.
I'm going to root for the most
Why?
popular team because I like the Blue Star and it's America's team. And get out of here. Bunch of idiots. If you don't live in the state of Texas or you're not from the state of Texas, there is no excuse for being a fan of that stupid team.
Sure.
I said it.
I
was
can't
born and
disagree.
raised to say it.
Yep.
Ovi's had a great been great for 20 seasons. Does anything else need to be said? No. I mean, he is. I don't think he will ever overtake Wayne Gretzky as people saying he's the best hockey player of all time. I think that's always going to be Gretzky, Brett Hull. There's so many that are people will put before Alex, and I think that's actually a shame because it might be because of the fact that Ovi's from Russia. I don't know. But, I mean, if you don't put him up there with Gretzky, then I think you're doing it wrong.
So
Mario Lemieux is another one. Anyway.
Dallas King said, what if you're named after them?
Then your parents were very confused.
Aww.
No, there's nothing wrong with the name Dallas, except when it's attached to that stupid football team.
If your last name was Texas, that would be a problem. No, I'm just kidding. Or Cowboys or...
Listen, I was brought up in a time where I was raised a Redskins fan. I had no other choice. And that also meant that I was raised to hate the Cowboys. That's just how it worked. So that's why I am the way I am. The rivalry isn't even the same as it ever was. I mean, back in the 80s, both teams were good. And so it was a thing. But ever since then, one or the other has been good while the other is terrible. Right now, my team is looking really, really good, and the Cowboys are not. So, but that'll flop probably 3 years from now, and it'll go over, and there it is.
So Teresa Tiffin says, Lisa, what is the longest you've had a nearite snail? Google says 1 to 2 years, but I've had mine 3.5 years, and she's still going strong. You know what? I've had some for that long, too. I mean, the ones that are in the Planet aquariums, I have, like, plenty of stuff to eat, you know, like algae and mom and all of it. You know, they do better than if you put them in an aquarium that doesn't have all the stuff that they need, you know, because people think that you can just throw a Cat's Aquatics in with a nearite snail, and they don't eat that. You know, the mystery snails do, the ram's horn snails do, and, you know, some of the other snails, but your nearite snails need that algae. They need that to survive. So you probably have a really good thriving tank and a good lid, because I've had a snail, I named him Go, and he went all the time, and I would find him on the floor and I'd put him back in, and he'd snail around in his tank and he'd be fine. But I was gone one weekend for the entire weekend, and I wasn't there to put him back in, so he didn't make it. But he lived for probably 1.5 years being, you know, one of those snails that like to adventure out.
Go. He was cute.
He was. I miss Go.
Not-
He actually, I still have him in that tank once he, you know, cleaned out and he wasn't gross anymore. I kept his shell in there. So that's his tank.
There you go. Not a Gretzky fan. Now, see, that's just ridiculous, Joe. I don't even understand why you would say that, because Gretzky is one of those players that was just unanimously loved. He wasn't, he's still alive very much. He's not like Tom Wilson. Unless Tom Wilson is on your team, you hate him.
Oh, I love Tom Wilson.
There's been a lot of players
He's
like
awesome.
Tom Wilson. Gretzky was just unanimously loved, though. I don't understand you, Joe. John, it is more arguable claim that Ovi is on Gretzky's level than Lemieux. Oh, I certainly don't disagree with that. But I don't know. You hear hockey people talk. Who are the best players of all time? They're going to say Gretzky, Lemieux's going to come up. I don't hear Ovi come up every time, and he certainly should. He probably will now, because he's just, you can't deny it. It's just like you can't deny that MJ is a better player than LeBron. I mean, you just can't deny it.
I'm so surprised that we have been streaming for 1 hour and 59, 2 hours now, and you have not even brought up the Superman trailer. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that.
So, yes.
All right,
so here, listen,
it's time
folks.
to go to prime time.
Listen, y'all. Jason and Joanna are live. If you want to stick around, I will talk for a moment about that trailer. If you're not interested in hearing anything about the Superman trailer, then go to Jason and Joanna's stream and have a lot of fun there. But I'm really glad you brought that up. Thank you.
I thought that
Because
it
yesterday
was the right time.
yesterday was a very important day for me. And I got to tell you, when I first saw it, I was like, But I've watched it 362 times since then, and I absolutely love it. Oh my God. Of course I do. Are you kidding me? Of course I loved the Superman trailer that came out yesterday. The reason why I was a little turned off at first was because, again, like the first trailer, you got the guy throwing the can at him, and you got these people. Even his girlfriend is like, did you get permission from the president before you stopped that war in a foreign country? And I'm just like, why is everybody against Superman? It's the thing that I did not like about the Zack Snyder Superman was that the world turned against him. And Superman is a beacon of hope. He is what we should all aspire to be and never will be. Why does he need to defend himself? And why is he looked at? It bothered me, but I kind of latched onto that and then had to, watch it again and again and again and again and again. And then I realized, okay, it's not all about that. That's like the very beginning of the trailer. And then the rest of it is Superman doing what Superman does. And I absolutely loved it. 2 months, 2 more months. Got to wait for that. I love everything about it, except I just wish it wasn't another movie where the world is turned against it. I understand Lex Luthor is responsible for it and all of this, but I just wish it wasn't that. I wish it could just be like the Donner Superman, where Superman's the good guy. He does everything good. Everybody loves him, and it's amazing. I'm sure they will be that way for probably the second half of the movie, but I don't want to see people throwing cans at the back of his head. But
there's more.
They did do something that I'm so glad that they did.
Oh.
Only a Superman fan would notice this. If you saw the first trailer, when that jerk throws the can at Superman's head, he blinked when it hit him in the head, which would never happen. If somebody threw a can at Superman's head, it would bounce off. He wouldn't even know that it hit his head. And I saw that and I said, oh God, why? Why is that? That would not happen. Why? And if you watch the new trailer, they fixed that. It just reflects off of his head and there's no reaction to it at all. And I was like, James Gunn listened to me. He didn't listen to me. I never complained about it, but I was so glad.
I'm so thankful they did that for you.
It's so cool. They showed a really good shot of Metamorpho, a couple more of Crypto. It's an amazing trailer. Absolutely amazing. Can't wait for July 11th. I'll be at the movie theater all day that day. And apparently Fortnite's next season is going to be Superman related. Really looking forward to that too.
It's going to be 2 months I'm not going to see you.
Superman is about the only thing that could take priority over you. I'm sorry. I'd give my life for you. But Superman is... sorry, you married this. But anyway, listen, folks. I have encroached on Jason. We have encroached. No, it's me. Can't blame it on her. On Jason and Joanna's time enough. Are you going to do that? Or it's too late now,
No,
right?
it's not.
Okay, do it.
Because you've taken 5 minutes.
Do it.
But anyways, one of the things I wanted to say before we ended this, and it's my fault that I even brought it up. I wanted to say thank you to Jerry and Ann Gobo for sending me the kitty food for the cats from my Amazon wish list. I appreciate that, Jerry, very much. And I also got a package from somebody, but they didn't have the name. It didn't say who it was from, but the receipt was in it. saying what it was, just not who it was from. And I wanted to say thank you to whoever sent me the wet cat food and the dry cat food and the kitty litter. So thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Whip had to chime in at the last minute and say, so many people complained about that. Yeah, they probably did. The whole thing with the can. Yeah. In the new trailer, my nephew, how old is Sam? 26? My nephew had to inform me about this. I hated the fact that in the new trailer, Superman falls from the sky and creates a big crater, and that dude helps him up out of the crater. And I was like, Superman would never need to be helped out of the crater. Like, I don't understand why that happened. And my nephew, Sam, said, John, he let him. He was embracing the fact that the people are accepting him back again. And he let him help him out of the crater. And I was like, oh, thank you, kid who's half my age. You get it, and I don't. I was glad that he made me aware of that. So, yeah, anyway.
That's cool.
So, yeah, I love that trailer very much. I can't wait to see it. We should all get together. No, it's just me and my nephew. It's a special thing. And then I'm going to take you the day after, right? Isn't that the plan?
Oh.
I get to see it 3 times in 2 days. Okay. Anyway, folks, Hulk versus Superman, who wins? Come on. That's a dumb question. How dare you? They would never fight because one's Marvel. No, I'm just kidding. Come on. It's not even up for debate.
Stop asking questions.
Superman is impenetrable, so it's not even a question. We got to get out of here. Thank you. Whoever brought up Superman, you did.
I did.
Thank you.
Because I thought you wouldn't talk about it because it was exactly 9 o'clock, and I was like, he's not going to go over.
No, I'm glad you did. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you all. And you say our final goodbyes. That way we can actually end this thing.
And thank you to the mods for modding. You all do wonderful. Zen, you do extra wonderful. Not saying that nobody else does, but thank you guys very much. And thanks for being here. And thank you for the super chats, the everything. You know, the gifted memberships. We really appreciate it. And it's been a lot of fun. And I'm glad the storm didn't knock it out, you know, and we were able to get through the stream. But have a wonderful night. Go check out Primetime Aquatics, and we will see you next Thursday.